Hello everyone, this is Safardi Shagatam. Today we'll be covering a very sad and tragic news that happened in Bangladesh. As you all know, we just went through one of the scariest earthquakes, at least in my lifetime. It was so scary, but I won't be speaking much about my experience here. I'll be trying to show other perspectives and reports. So one of the most renowned news portals here, the Daily Star, reported at least 6 people died. God knows actually how many people died, and hundreds are injured from today's earthquake. I was really sad to read that, a 10-month-old girl named Fatima, she died when a wall collapsed on her. Her mother and the neighboring woman were also injured, and they're undergoing treatment at a local hospital. And also a boy named Omar, who's only 10 years old. He died when a balcony parapet collapsed on him. It's really sad, really sad. Seriously. And a 75-year-old old man, he was killed when his mud house caved in. So basically he was living in his home made of mud or some sort of ground or soil, I'm guessing. So it's really sad. It's really sad. In Gajipur, at least 100 factory workers were injured. This is really tragic. So we got another news portal, Bangla News 24, reports 150 people have been injured in Bangladesh from today's earthquake. So the magnitude on the Richter scale, the magnitude of this earthquake is 5.7, and the epicenter is in Bangladesh. So I was on my bed, and when the earthquake happened, I could hear the noise, like the sounds of the keys, moving. And then when I got out, I could hear the sounds of spoons and plates. And, some of the things, they dropped off, and some of the things fell down. And when I went to the living room, there's a shelf, and it has like a glass door, and the glass door, one of them was open. So see, I'm speaking about this. So one side of the glass door, it opened due to today's earthquake. So it was really bizarre, to say the least.
Qualifier se Bharat bodher dine la ilaha illallah Muhammadur গোল করে থেমে যেতে চান না
Like, can you hear the sound? It's so intense. Like, thank God we're alive. And honestly, I gotta say, this guy kept his composure really well. Like, not a lot of people can do that. When the earthquake happened, I'm not saying I wasn't scared, but I was still able to manage myself. I stayed calm, cool, and collected, and I was stable. I was worried about my mom the most because she recently had a back injury and she cannot get up or walk as well. So that was the number one concern for me. But anyway. So we got, North South University, which is one of the top private universities of the country. The building, see the wall, the ceiling, it cracked. I mean, what else is there to say, It's frustrating. It's sad. Wait, let me tell y'all why this is frustrating. So let me read these. So the front page PD, shout out to them, they posted. So it says, we are not prepared. Why is Bangladesh not prepared? No standard emergency drill. People didn't know whether to run or stay, because there's reports, I've seen videos where Dhaka University students, they jumped off from the balcony, from the roof maybe, and they broke their legs. They got severely injured. So a lot of people were panicking. They had no idea what to do. Zero coordinated instructions, no first aid kits, no emergency water, food stock, no proper emergency hotline. Can you believe that? And panic due to lack of verified information. Okay. Unsafe. unsafe building structures. Like if you don't follow the protocols, if you don't follow the set of rules and regulations while constructing the buildings, then it has like a ripple effect. These kinds of corruptions, it doesn't only affect you, your family, or your surrounding. It affects the entire nation. And that's why I really, really hate corruption. I really do. Like, of course, everyone hates corruption as long as you're morally okay. But I really hate corruption on another level. So because see, like and when I say they, I mean a lot of people in Dhaka, in my city, in the capital of Bangladesh, when they created these buildings, they did not follow the rules and regulations. So that's why it makes it really, really challenging, really, really difficult. Like, God forbid if in the future a fatal, deadly, devastating earthquake happens, it will be nearly impossible to survive and nearly impossible to rescue and save people. Tilted buildings. So we have seen tilted buildings today. For example, one building tilted on another in a place called Badda, which is in Dhaka. Cracks formed in buildings. We've already seen the example of North-South University. I have a cousin who's building same, walls cracked, the garage, ceiling cracked and whatnot. High risk and low regulation construction, as I've already said. As per a survey conducted by Rajuk in 2018, an alarming 67% of buildings were found violating building codes out of 1.95 lakh buildings surveyed. So in 2018, Rajuk, which is basically the body, the institution or whatever you call it, basically who set these rules, they conducted a survey in 2018. They surveyed around 1.95 lakh buildings. 1.95 lakh means 195,000. Okay, so 195,000 buildings, and 67% of them violated the rules. Were they punished? Were they fined? I don't know, but it's really frustrating because it's not like 1 or 2%. 67% of the buildings, they broke the law. Like, this is frustrating. Seriously. And last point, at least 67% of Dhaka and its surroundings are at high risk of earthquakes, as the buildings have been constructed on landfills due to unrestricted urbanization and have not taken into consideration the nature of the soil or earthquake vulnerabilities of the area in general. In other words, wake up, Bangladesh, wake up, this new generation, as well as the old generation, everyone. I'm not, see, like when I make these kinds of content, sometimes criticizing my country's situations, people might think, like some people might think I hate my country or I hate my nation, but it's not the case. When you love something, or when you love someone, you get really passionate, right? Like, you want the best for them. So sometimes you might seem harsh. Sometimes you might come across a bit, not the sweetest. But in this case, it's like a bitter truth, right? The truth is not always sweet. So since I want the best for Bangladesh, since I love my country and my nation, I want positive changes. And who am I? I'm just a voice. I'm just saying this for awareness. I'm not a leader. I don't want to be a leader. But hey, let's try to change. Let's start with ourselves. Anyway, Dhaka needs a real disaster plan. So what are we supposed to do? Enforce earthquake-resistant building codes and audit old, risky structures. Yes, we need transparent, qualitative, rigorous auditing. All right, we need that. There's no alternative. Create emergency shelters in every ward with water, first aid, and open space. I cannot, stress how important this is. You need open space for shelters, for, support, for first aid, for water, as already pointed here. The third point, run quarterly earthquake drills in schools, malls, apartments, and offices. I remember in 2020, I believe, or no, sorry, it was in 2019. At the end of 2019, we had a drill, earthquake drill in our office. So, yeah, like I appreciate that, but not every school or mall or apartment, especially, they have these earthquake drills. So I think it's very important. Otherwise, people panic, people freeze, people do stupid things when they panic, basically. So you need to make people, practically aware what to do and what not to do. And the last point here, build a reliable national alert system so networks don't jam during panic. So see, like if you don't have a national alert system, maybe people will be panicking more because there's a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos, a lot of rumors and whatnot. So yeah, we need a uniform alert system so that everyone stays on track, everyone stays calm as much as possible, and we save most lives, optimally as possible. So yeah, guys, this was just some words from me. I know I sound really frustrated, really tired as well, because it's all true. I just went through, oh man, like a nightmare today. But I thought, I need to voice myself out in this way because I'm really frustrated with the situation. I want the buildings, everything to follow the codes, and the buildings that broke the codes, I need them to be audited, caught, and I don't know, like just fix it. The experts know how to do it. Fix it and save our nation. Protect Bangladesh. Thank you for watching. This was your bird, Saf 40, signing off for now.